one of the first NFTs that I collected was World of Women, and that's what's going to be up next, is how we can bring community together through NFTs with our friends at the World of Women. Come on up. Round of applause, round of applause. I'm going to be hanging out with this group, be the moderator, and we're going to start off with intros once we have our seats here, starting closest to me and working our way down. Go ahead, grab it.
Should I start?
Yeah, go for it.
GM, I'm Kashvi. I'm the community manager at World of Women. I'm a 20-year-old business student by day, community manager by night, and I feel so grateful to be here. Passing the mic to Cynthia.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. I'm Cynthia. I'm the director of the World of Women Foundation. I'm not a student by day, but I'm always learning. I oversee our WOW University and our academy, and I'm really excited to be here.
Hi, everyone. I'm Syrona. I am the physical goods manager at World of Women. I basically work onboarding Web2 brands into the Web3 space.
Hi, I'm Scarlett. I'm a community member of World of Women, and I'm just here as a huge fan of the project and of the crypto space in general.
Scarlett, you and I have both something in common, where we are community members of the World of Women. And maybe we can go by and just talk about what got you interested in joining this community.
Yeah, for me, I actually come from an environmentalist perspective, so I have a degree in ocean science, and one of the things that really spoke to me about World of Women was its focus on using tech and NFTs, but also actually focusing on the environmental perspective and actually doing something for good, because the environmental aspect is a problem, so it's really great to see a project that acknowledges the problem and is trying to actively find solutions.
Solutions, important part of being in this NFT ecosystem is finding problem solving. Like you said, using your background, finding interests that you had in environmental technology, and how it was woven into the world of the World of Women. Anything from the Web 2 capacity that the World of Women is trying to accelerate, as far as trying to maybe make a larger name for either a brand or even the community members for the World of Women.
Yeah, I think something that's been really apparent in conversations that I've been having over the past couple of days is that the barrier to entry to Web3 is still very difficult for an average Joe to sort of get on board with. And I feel like one of the ways that we are solving that issue is via physical goods. We're working with some major partnerships at the moment. We have recently announced our partnership with Monopoly. So we're working on some really cool projects, and I think that that is a great way to connect with a mainstream audience and also help the Web2 brands understand their Web3 audience. I think that there's a lot of interest in the different ways that you market to a Web3 community compared to Web2.
Think of that, Monopoly. You always see Monopoly with just, if it's a Disney Monopoly set or a Star Wars Monopoly set, and now we have, a World of Women Monopoly set, and I just wonder who's going to be on Boardwalk and Park Place over there. Do we know that yet? Can we relieve that information at all?
Cannot reveal.
Trying to get some alpha off the stage up here.
It's World of Women Galaxy theme, though.
World of Women Galaxy theme. Thank you for the heads up on that. I'm learning up here as well. Branching into different aspects in the Web3 space, maybe Cynthia, you can branch on it a little bit about just the educational aspect within trying to maybe either onboarding people to an NFT project or just maybe relaying a message towards that project.
Yeah, I think, one, like Syrona said, there's a huge need for people to still be in the space. We're all likely here because we've either heard about it or we're super deep into it or invested heavily sort of the past year. But we're, at World of Women, we're super passionate about bringing new people on. Just this past week, we were at a couple events and conferences, and we just did some spaces, and it's always surprising because there's still people who just, for example, don't know how to get in Discord, don't know the relevance of, certain projects, or, aren't aware of what's happening in the ecosystem in general. So, one of our huge missions is onboarding more people to Web3. That's through one of our partners, Sandbox, who was able to give us a grant that we started a foundation and are building different digital guides and experiences for onboarding more women in particular. And then more generally, we want to make sure that we're incubating the next talent. So the next cool NFT projects, the next, cool creators in this space. Also uncool. I don't think I'm very cool, so you know what I mean? Just in general, Web3 projects. So a lot of that is education through programs we're putting on. We just launched a program called Let's Mint, which is getting more girls into Web3 through NFTs. So it's teaching them about the concept, about financial investing, about the blockchain, why it's relevant, why it's important. We still have applications open actually, and it's open to 300 girls, and they'll each get a free NFT up to about 300, I would say US dollars, but I don't want to say that because some USDC or something. But anyways, so we'll be teaching girls how to mint, the importance of the blockchain, and sort of the future of this technology as well.
Family is very important to me. My direct family, and one of the things I had the fortunate thing to do, being an early collector of World of Women, was able to give my nieces 2 golden World of Women. And I told them when they turn 16, they need to sell them for a car.
Or college tuition.
2 weeks ago, my niece just sold her World of Women and bought her car at the age of 16, and it really pissed off my sister, and I love her very much, but that's kind of what you got to do in the family, is make sure that you're taking care of your loved ones in there. So just like you guys are trying to initiate it, with my niece who just turned 16 and my other niece who's 12, is they are in the ecosystem, and they are learning these things, and they are on the Discord, and they are pulling information they need to do whatever they want to do with their time, but they are interested in it, and it really inspires me to see where this space is actually going to go. And with that is building that community. And a really good friend right here, we've had many conversations on spaces or just going back and forth of trying to build this, this Web3 space. Take it away, a little bit about what you're doing for World of Women and the huge role that you have in trying to keep that community organized.
Thank you, Novo. It's so nice to be on this panel with you.
Hold on, you have this awesome jacket. I gotta show this off. Keep talking, go ahead, keep talking.
All right, so my journey with World of Women as community manager started off as community member. So July 27th, we minted out. I was in the Discord, had very little ETH on me, was trying to make it in and trying to buy one of these. And I was kind of able to, and it meant everything to me from the beginning for the reasons that Scarlett mentioned, that these NFTs are changing the world. You are participating in culture that is not just onboarding or getting people into Web3, it's making a real world impact. And that meant everything to me, along with this very special thing that we do, which is curating from one-of-one artists. I have friends who, since we were younger, have been I don't want to call it minting, but creating one-of-one pieces. And that stuff never really gets any traction in Web 2 either. And just seeing that they had this opportunity in Web 3 and that World of Women is capitalizing on it and ensuring that these artists feel seen was one of the main reasons why I joined in. And I think values like this, being a mission-driven project, makes it much easier to build a community and to get people who care about the same things. As community member, I was very drawn to the project, of course, but things started to change a little bit when I saw the founders showing up in the Discord every day, showing up in spaces and just being super transparent with everyone. And I wanted to work with them. So 2 months after we launched,
Sorry, selfie.
2 months after we launched, I think Raf DM'd me and he was like, hey, do you want to join the team? I wasn't sure back then, but I think it's the best decision I've ever made. And what I love about the WoW community is that everyone is very benevolent. Everyone's here for a reason. They're here to make an impact. They're here to contribute to change, while also focusing on things like IP development, going mainstream, bringing as many people into this cultural revolution as possible, and ensuring that minorities and women don't get left out this time around the way that they were in Web 2. So, yeah.
Just like I started off with, is I welcome all my aliens, apes, and zombies, because I want everyone to be included. And when I first started in this collecting space, since this is the collecting track that we're up here on floor 5, is knowing after I secured a CryptoPunk, plural, as kind of the digital rookie card, I was investigating what was next. I went into photography, Justin Aversano. Justin Aversano and Twin Flames. And the next evolutionary step is just like the female artist in this space. What was the rookie card for the female artist in this space? And Yam did such a great job of just not only expressing her own vision, but everyone else's vision. Like all the artists that you're talking about, plural. I mean, if you're a World of Women holder, and you get airdrop stuff from significant artists rather frequently. Does someone maybe want to speak upon that a little bit?
Yeah, the, art drops is something that we started back when like the project was super new. What we did is collaborate with 7 artists every month to airdrop free work to our holders, and that way they would like discover these 7 artists and just really get to know their backgrounds, their journeys. Currently, it's on pause because we've been taking a lot of feedback from the community on how we could make this better. And our product manager, Yari Aristotle, is working on reworking this entire concept, and you guys should hopefully hear about it very, very soon. But as amazing as Art Drops was, we realized like through the seasons that there are things that we can improve. There's ways to spotlight the artists better, make our community understand why art matters, because a lot of people also joined in for the reasons of like, oh, I want to like make 100x on my investment, I want to like get more followers on Twitter, you know, there's also like clout reasons for which people join. So we also want to show these people who come in for the clout that there is value in collecting art. There is clout that comes with being a collector or with supporting artists. And I think that's one of the things that Art Drops or Art Drops 2.0 will help us accomplish.
I'm going to pivot a little bit. You mentioned the name Aristotle, and
Yes.
he is engaged to Cool Blue. Cool Blue is actually Leslie Wheeler. She is a coworker of mine at Vayner3, and she dresses as her Cool Blue World of Women. Like she does like full body paint, dresses up, puts, you know.
She's awesome.
And I guess with that, for anyone on stage, is just like the community aspect of individuals and what they're bringing towards the space. You know, the importance of that, where everyone does have a voice in that Discord. Everyone is listened to, and everyone can express themselves in different ways. So maybe just a question about when you're in Discord, or if you're asking questions about it, you know, what would be the best approach about trying to maybe get your idea out there?
As a community member, whenever I always feel listened to by the wider community and by the team, and I think one of the reasons for that is one of the best ways is just to put something out on the Discord. They will always listen. Is you don't need to go through this full procedure of, you don't need to jump through hoops to be listened to. The team are always listening. They're always active. They're always open to new ideas. So just putting your idea out there and seeing where it goes is honestly the best approach. It's just, you don't need to put in the effort because the team puts in that effort for you to make sure that they're actively listening.
I'd just like to add to that as well. I think Scarlett's absolutely right. I also think that we as a team regularly work with community members to spotlight them and their own projects, especially their use of IP. I'm planning the WoW Gala at the moment. It's going to be the 1st of December in Art Basel, so hope to see some of you there. But we're actually leveraging a lot of community members and directly asking them, you know, what would you like to see? What activations do you want? Do you want to actually participate yourself? Like, this is an event for our community, and we really want it to feel fully inclusive. I feel like that's something that World of Women does do really well.
And I was actually able to participate in the gala at the Art Basel, and it was awesome because it wasn't just World of Women stuff. I mean, I had friends there that make full-blown Lego creations, and they sell them to Steve Aoki, and he was there. And there's, I can't remember what Bored Ape member, but he had his Bored Ape on like an Oreo, and he was handing out Oreos to everyone. You can eat his Bored Ape with cookies and milk. It was ridiculous, and it's just the aspect of building that community outside of just owning, you know, an NFT or a digital collectible is where you're adding value, and that value, having that IRL experience is extremely important. I mean, we've been so trapped at times years back where, you know, NFT NYC 2021, it was like, man, finally we could get out of the house and have fun, and that's why there's so much FOMO and just people just wanting to do something. And then fast forward to, you know, even here in London where you're having, I'm crossing the bridge and people are like, hey, what's going on, Crypto Novo? And I didn't know anyone knew who the heck I was outside of, you know, a couple stairs in this place, but it's just, I'm trying to add to the community, just like you guys are adding the community, and we're all in this together, and that's the wonderful thing on it.
I agree. And just huge shout out to this guy. He's showing up every single day in Twitter Spaces on Twitter, and he's doing like this whole other job while he's like showing up for the NFT community in general. So, Crypto Novo.
I don't need the applause. You know, we all have, we're all degens. I mean, we are. It's just what we are in our nature, and we always want to strive to go further and just progress to the next phase, and whatever that phase may be. So what might be the next phase of the world of women coming up here? Without any dropping too much alpha. But I'll drop some alpha on you. Back to the community member aspect. I talked to Aristotle about, I'm into AR filters. I try to stay anonymous even when I'm online, and it was something that he was interested in. You know, it's just like, hey, what's the deal with these AR filters? And I'm like, we just produce them for people who just want to make content and make a name for themselves and make a voice for themselves. And we had a meeting about it. And I don't know if it's going to go anywhere, but it's just like extending the olive branch, pulling off maybe a specialty that I may have, and incorporating it within another community. I don't know if that alpha is going to go anywhere, but
yeah, I think AR filters and digital identity in general is so important, not just to World of Women, but in the Web3 space overall. I think one of the reasons why we're so attached to our PFPs is because we think it represents this side to us. You know, like blue and white are my favorite colors, and I rep them every single day in my WoW. And I know a lot of other people who have like sentimental attachments to their specific PFPs, and we want to find a way to take that outside your Twitter or IG profile pic. What else can you do with it? What's the next step? And I think one of the things that we have done already is our partnership with the Sandbox, where you can take the voxelized version of your World of Women or your World of Women galaxy and play around with it in the Sandbox's metaverse. But as Crypto Novo said, we are also definitely exploring other avenues under the digital identity pillar. I think digital fashion with the Fabricant is also a great example of how we've sort of brought those outfits to life. And we definitely want to keep doing more of that.
Well, I mean, I guess this is more than a community. I mean, this is a foundation. And the World of Women Foundation. Perfect transition here. Maybe you want to talk a little bit about the World of Women Foundation?
Yeah, I was actually going to chime in. So I think, and what you might see is there'll be more education, more community aspects, and education will become an even more important part, especially in this market, in this bear market. I think people are eager to learn, and people who may not, may have just heard about NFTs are now sort of ready to learn in some capacity. And so I think that you will see a lot more learning from not only Foundation, but as a brand, I think that'll become increasingly important. And then, in general, I think if we were to talk about the Foundation, we're, like I mentioned, I think two things that we're really passionate about are onboarding new people to Web3, and then also art. So Kashvi talked a lot about, the artists and the art drops, and that's super important to us. I personally came to World of Women because of the incredible and beautiful art that they were, acquiring and purchasing, and that was important for me. But also, how do you go beyond that, and how do you empower artists? How do you empower artists in various countries, in other countries who might not have the opportunities to access art or get on digital art or have the tools or technology to actually create the art? So how do you equip people, with the right talent, but just not necessarily the right opportunities? That'll become a huge part of the Foundation as well. And then, when we talk more generally about education, it's also up to us in this room to bring people on board. So, when you guys see sort of programs that we're putting out, invite your friends, invite, your sisters, your nieces, your daughters, your friends. I think that's super important as well. Personally, and I know a lot of my friends, they got into NFTs because they had a friend who knew about it, and, they came along for the ride and they learned about it through that way. So not only, as a brand, some of the programs that we're putting out, but at the core of it, who in your families, who in your friends, maybe you talk about NFTs way too much and they're tired of it. But if they're not, bring them along with you and see that, what can we do around us, and who are the people around you that could really benefit from something like this?
I think just to add to that, a little bit of personal story about myself. This is actually my sister. I got into World of Women because my sister and my dad are both massively into the NFT space, both the 10K and World of Women. I actually discovered World of Women and NFTs through my family. And we are now an NFT family. We're getting my mum involved as well. She now owns a WoW. So it's been a really cool journey for me, not just my career progression with WoW, but also the personal side of it. I don't really switch off, I guess. I finish work and I call up my family. We sit and we chat about World of Women and about NFTs and about the future of Web3. And I think it's such an interesting space to be in, especially when everyone you know is so fully immersed.
I'm piggybacking right off that because, well, as you may know, our family talks about NFTs, Web3. My CryptoPunk over there, far left where I'm standing, your guy's right, it's actually a female. And my son picked her out. And I said, what CryptoPunk do you like out of these right here? There are 5 traits, and I had a reason why I wanted to have him pick a 5 trait. And he goes, I want that one with the clown nose. And I said, why? He goes, I think it looks the coolest. 3-4 days later, he found out it was a female CryptoPunk, and he thought it was even cooler. And then he wanted to dress Dad up like that CryptoPunk. Well, I guess I'll associate it with being my CryptoPunk rather than a male or female, but it comes back to, it doesn't matter what you are or where you want to go, as long as you do it, and you're having fun while doing it. If people are going to judge you, I mean, look at me. I'm up here dressed as almost like a clown. I could be Bozo if you wanted me to. But I'm embracing it, and I'm having fun with it. I'm enjoying the journey. The same with the World of Women journey that I've had, with them pretty much from the beginning, being an early person in the Discord, learning what it's all about, seeing if this was the actual rookie card of female NFTs in the space and art, and then being able to talk with you guys and Yam and whoever else, and just being able to plug in with the top people in the space was just very inviting. So make sure that you are accepting of other people and other things in all capacities. Even if you don't understand it, there's a capacity to at least learn what they're trying to say. And if you don't agree with it, that's all right. You don't have to agree with everything, but at least you're taking that time to learn about something. We have a couple minutes left here. Maybe one piece of advice for our friends in the crowd here that are listening in any capacity. My advice is just stay positive and love life because, you know what? It goes by fast, super fast. I sometimes compare the Web3 world to dog ears, where 1 minute's like 7 minutes. You turn off your computer for one day, you might as well turn it off for an entire week. So any recommendations for our friends out here?
Well, I don't want to give advice per se, but it's something that I truly believe in is giving to anyone who's around you. Since we're on a panel about bringing community together through NFTs, I think it's important to just humanize the person behind the PFP, help them feel seen, help them with anything that they need, I think when we were all starting out, we all had that one friend or that one mentor that we looked up to, or someone that we just relied on to help us get through silly questions. So if you can, then be that person for someone today, because you don't know what role you'll be playing in their larger journey. I was lucky enough to have a couple of people like that early on, and that made all the difference to me. And I did my best to give back to them as a community builder. So it's important to just build those relationships and to just keep giving, because I think that's, at the end of the day, my personal mission is to just do that, to give more than I've taken. And I think that it has worked so far for me when I'm building communities. So yeah.
Very sweet and very Kashvi. I love it. I would just say, just be nice to yourself and others. And when I say to yourself, when I first started in the journey, I was a little frustrated because I didn't know a lot, but I also was just like, how long is this going to take? And it was such a learning curve. But I told myself every single day for an hour, I'll sit down and I'll learn something around NFTs, Web3, crypto, whatever it was. And I just put an hour every single day. And I said, I'm just going to do this for the next month, and we're going to see where it goes. And luckily, it ended up here. But just, to say, be nice to yourself, explore your interest. Just do it if you have this idea, or just something small that you wanted to try, if it's a hobby or a passion. Just try it and be nice to yourself as you're learning, and to other people as well.
Yeah, I think we all have different reasons for getting into NFTs and Web3. And I think that obviously the market has significantly changed over the past year, and a lot of us have really felt that in our day-to-day lives. So I'd say try and, if invest in projects, don't just focus on the financial aspect. Choose communities that you genuinely believe in, that you're genuinely passionate about, that you want to be part of, because that's honestly my favorite part of Web3. It's that community aspect. It's feeling like we're all in this together. Even if I don't know who you are IRL, like I have friends online who I have never met and probably won't meet, but we still have that sense of friendship and community, and I think that that's super important.
Yes, Syrona and I just met yesterday for the first time, but we've worked digitally forever. Okay, go ahead.
I guess my one piece of advice would be, remember that the community is waiting for you. I know myself, and I know quite a few other people who've ended up having to take mental health breaks, or they've ended up falling out of the community just because they've not been able to put in that emotional labor, and they've ended up reclusing into themselves, and they feel as if they can't come back to the community because they're going to be shunned because, oh, I've taken a month off. But the reality is if you do end up coming back, they're always so happy to see you, and everyone's always so understanding. So it's okay even though Web3 space feels like if you turn it off for an hour, you've missed a week. It's okay if you turn it off. It's okay to step away, but know that people are waiting for you, and they're excited to see you when you come back.
I want you all to look at that word community up there. I'm not an English major. I don't even know if this even really makes sense. But the first part, communication, second part, unity. You can't spell community without unity. I want to thank you guys very much for expressing your opinions today on stage and giving us the knowledge that we need. Can we give our friends up here, the World of Women, a round of applause?
Thank you.